Sarah, have you finished cleaning everything? If I find any dust at all, you'll have to start over from the beginning. And make sure you do the laundry and prepare dinner properly. I expect an immediate response when I message you. Don't make me wait. Sorry, I was cleaning the bathroom. That's no excuse. Keep your phone with you at all times. I shouldn't have to chase you for responses. A proper wife would manage both tasks. Victoria, it's impossible to clean everything in one day. This house is like a mansion. It's huge. Plus, I have housework piling up at my own home, and I have work too. Your own home? This is your home now. Your apartment is just a place to sleep. Your priorities should be here. And what do you mean impossible? I managed everything when I was younger. But you had 3 housekeepers. That's irrelevant. Just focus on your duties. I just checked the living room. The dust on the shelves is unacceptable. Do it again. Every surface should sparkle. This is basic housekeeping. I just dusted those shelves an hour ago. Run your finger across the 3rd shelf. See? Dust. This is what I mean about your poor attention to detail. That's because you just opened all the windows. What? Are you talking back to me? This is exactly why I can't trust you with anything important. Your excuses are endless. A proper wife takes responsibility. This attitude of yours needs to stop. You should be grateful I'm teaching you properly. Most mothers-in-law wouldn't take the time, but you clearly need the guidance. I'm trying my best. Not even close. Your best isn't good enough. A wife's job is to handle housework, so don't give me such lazy excuses. Our family comes from a distinguished lineage. You have no idea of our social standing. Every imperfection reflects poorly on us. I understand, but I'm trying my best to balance everything. My work deadline is tomorrow. There you go again about your work. Always with these excuses. What could be more important than family duties? And about your work, you mean that little freelance thing you do? That's just a hobby. Real women focus on their household, not playing with computers all day. It's not a hobby. I have clients who depend on me. Drawing little pictures on a computer isn't real work. Anyone can do that. I graduated from an elite university, married into this family, and have maintained this household for years. I'm an elite lady of society. You can't possibly understand our standards, our social obligations. But being a freelance designer is a real job. I have clients depending on me. Real jobs happen in offices, with proper companies. Clients, please. Your priority should be this household. They're just an excuse to avoid your duties. My clients pay well. Money isn't everything. A commoner from a poor family who only finished high school has no right to defy me. You should be grateful that we accepted you into this family, that we let you into our world. Commoner? I wasn't aware we still had a class system in modern times. Hey, don't act clever. Your sarcasm proves your poor upbringing. A proper lady would know her place. Your attempts at wit are pathetic. This is exactly what I mean about class. And where exactly is my place? Certainly not above me, not even close to my level. You'll never reach it. A family with tradition is special in itself. Honestly, this is why stupid women are useless. You're only good as a servant. Any woman from our lineage would keep this house in perfect condition. You can't even understand basic standards. I'm not a servant. I'm Tom's wife. Being Tom's wife is a privilege you haven't earned. You need to prove yourself worthy. Every day, you fall short. Tom chose poorly. He was too naive to see through your act. He was blinded by youth. He didn't see the reality. What act? I love your son. Love? You mean you just love his status, his future inheritance. Poor Tom, being deceived by such a stupid woman. If you want me to recognize you as my son's wife, show some sincerity. Show some real effort. Prove your worth. What would you consider sincere? I'm here helping almost every day. That's the bare minimum, the absolute least you could do. You should be here from morning until night, every single day. Don't act like you're doing me a favor. This is your duty, your path to acceptance. I'll do my best within reason. Within reason? Who are you to set conditions? You have no right. Already trying to set limits, this is why you'll never be good enough. Everyone has limits. Not in this family. We set standards. You should work yourself to death. Until I approve of you, I won't consider you a daughter-in-law. You'll always be an outsider, until you prove otherwise. But I need to leave by 6 p.m. today to finish my project. There you go again with your project. What project could be more important than family? And leaving early again? This is exactly what I mean about your lack of commitment. I can come back tomorrow morning. Tomorrow isn't good enough. Actually, nothing you do is good enough. Don't bother. You'll just do everything wrong again. I'll have to supervise every little thing. Every simple task. It's really exhausting for me. I've been following your instructions exactly. Clearly not. Your results prove otherwise. Look at these water spots on the mirror. And look at this mess. And yet you still can't meet basic standards. Even the way you fold towels is embarrassing. Everything you touch is wrong, and everything you do needs correction. All right, I'll refold them before I leave. Leave the towels. Don't touch anything else. You'll just make them worse. This is exactly why Tom should have married someone from our social circle. Someone who understands proper standards, who understands excellence and tradition. I understand standards just fine. Then prove it and show me. Stay until everything is perfect.
Sarah, I heard you were here helping with housework again today. Victoria told me about it. Even though we usually decline, she said you've been coming here on your own initiative, and you even moved to an apartment nearby because you're worried about your in-laws' home. Thank you for everything.
That's not exactly...
Is something wrong?
I was just doing what Victoria asked.
Asked or insisted?
Well...
She mentioned you've been very eager to help lately, said you volunteer constantly and you're always offering to do more.
That's not exactly how it happened.
What do you mean? Please, Sarah, tell me what's really going on. I need to understand.
It's complicated.
Is everything all right, Sarah? You seem hesitant. You can trust me. I just want to help you.
But I don't want to cause problems to you or Tom.
You can tell me if something's wrong. Nothing you say will leave this room. I'm concerned about you.
It's nothing. I'm just doing what a daughter-in-law should, though your wife says I still have a long way to go.
A long way to go? What exactly has she been asking you to do?
Everything needs to be perfect.
You look tired. Are you getting enough rest? When was your last day off? How many hours are you spending here?
Victoria says rest is for the lazy.
She said what? That doesn't sound right. When did she say this? What else has she been saying?
She just has high standards.
There's a difference between standards and unreasonable demands. What kind of demands is she making?
She says I need to prove myself.
You've already proven yourself by being such a dedicated daughter-in-law. The house has been cleaner than ever. I heard you used to help your mother with housework since childhood. You're really admirable, Sarah.
I try to keep up with her expectations, but... Anyway, thank you for your concern. But I'm learning a lot from your wife. She told me it's common sense that a married woman should handle all the housework at her husband's family home. She said it's tradition that I must do all of this to be accepted as a proper daughter-in-law. Coming from an ordinary family, I didn't know about these customs.
Tradition? What tradition? I do believe we've never had such rules.
Yes, the family traditions she's mentioned.
What traditions exactly? Please be specific, because I need to know what she's told you.
She said all proper wives in the family do this.
I've never heard of such traditions, not in this family.
She was very specific about them.
What else did she say was tradition? Tell me everything. Don't leave anything out.
She told me to pull weeds with my bare hands, so my hands are all scratched up. Tom was worried and said I shouldn't do such foolish things, but your wife must have gone through such harsh days too. As a woman, I respect her for that.
What? Your hands are injured from that? Why didn't you use gardening gloves? We have plenty of gloves. There was no reason for this.
She said proper wives don't need gloves.
That's completely absurd! No one should work without proper protection! Are the scratches on your hand okay? How long have they been like this?
They're not so bad. Victoria said it shows more dedication this way.
Listen, Sarah! There should be no such tradition in our family. In fact, I do believe we don't have any traditions like that at all. What has she been doing while you've been working so hard? None of this is right.
I'm not sure. She goes out most of the days. I even do the grocery shopping.
How often does she go out? Where does she go?
Every afternoon. almost every day after giving me instructions.
And she leaves you alone to do everything? By yourself without any help?
She says she has important appointments.
Important appointments every day? What kind of appointments? Why haven't I heard about these?
She doesn't tell me what they are.
I'm so sorry, Sarah. My wife must be acting out because she feels like she's lost her son. I'll talk to her about this. You don't need to push yourself so hard anymore. This ends now. You've suffered enough.
But she said if I don't do everything perfectly...
What? What did she say? What did she threaten you with?
That she'd make Tom divorce me.
She threatened you with divorce? She has no right to do that at all.
She says I'm not worthy of the family name.
Really? Thank you for telling me this, Sarah. I had no idea things were this bad. I should have noticed and seen the signs much earlier.
But I didn't want to cause any trouble to your family.
You don't need to worry at all. This is all Victoria's doing.
But she says...
You're not causing trouble. You're family.
Victoria says I'll never be family.
She's wrong. You're my daughter-in-law, and that's final. Nothing she says will change that.
Thank you, Richard.
We'll sort this out. This abuse ends today. No one threatens my family.
Sarah, the laundry and cleaning are piling up. Stop wasting time and get back here immediately. The house is a mess. Why aren't you responding? This silence is unacceptable. I know you've read my messages. I can't come today. Something urgent came up. Urgent? What could be more urgent than your duties here? What pathetic excuse now? Nothing takes priority over family obligations. Please understand. Understand what? Victoria, today is my mother's funeral. She suddenly fell ill and passed away 2 days ago. I'm still trying to process everything. A funeral? That's your excuse? So what? That has nothing to do with you being my son's wife. What a useless daughter-in-law skipping housework for a mere mother's funeral. You have no pride as a woman of our family, and you even tattled to my husband to try to get out of work before. It took time to convince him otherwise. But I need to be here for the ceremony. Please understand. This is my mother's funeral. Stop being so dramatic. Your mother is already gone. Your duty is here. I can't leave during the service. You managed to text, didn't you? So you can move. But this time, I really can't. Stop making excuses. If you want to remain Tom's wife, you'll come now. Right now. You can't be serious. Oh, I'm very serious. Deadly serious. Your choice, your marriage or your dead mother. Choose wisely. Time is ticking. Come back and do the housework right now. Who cares about some old woman's funeral? A servant like you has no right to refuse. If you don't come back, you're unfit to be Tom's wife. Your mother means nothing to this family. Nothing to your future. That's too cruel. Cruel? I'm being practical and realistic. Your tears won't work on me. She was my only parent. Stop being so emotional. A wife from a distinguished family shouldn't whimper like that. I'll convince Tom to divorce you. That's fine, right? You don't have a father or siblings, do you? If you don't want to be alone, serve our family and obey everything I, an elite lady, tell you to do. You're completely alone now. No one but us. Remember that. But I'll never see my mother again. She's dead. Get over it. You're being ridiculous. Choose now. Either your dead mother or your marriage. Well, I'm waiting. Yes, I'll return then. Finally showing some sense. It's about time. At least you can recognize your priorities. Better late than never. But you should have just listened to me from the start. Be here within 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'll be late for my appointment. Hurry up. But I need to tell the funeral director. That's not my problem. Not my concern. The clock is ticking. 10 minutes. Not a second longer. I understand. And change out of those funeral clothes. You look ridiculous. I'll need to stop home first. No excuses. No delays. 10 minutes means 10 minutes. I'll come right after speaking with Tom. Why are you involving him? Leave him out of this. This is between us. He's here at the funeral too. Don't you dare tell him about this conversation. Keep your mouth shut. Not a word to him. But he's asking why I need to leave. Just make something up. That's something you're good at. Lie if you have to, whatever it takes. But he wants to know where I'm going. Tell him anything but the truth. Just keep him out of this. Sarah, why are my husband and Tom here at the house? Is it strange for them to be home? I'm here too, after all. You could just talk to them normally, but you've been in the bathroom for a while now. Is your stomach upset? Are you okay? Just be quiet. How could I talk normally in such a tense atmosphere? Explain what's going on properly. Why are they all here? This wasn't part of the plan. Answer me. There's nothing to explain. You wanted me here, right? Not with them. Why did you bring them? This isn't what I meant. Get them out of here. Everyone is really kind, you know. When I tried to leave early, Tom asked what happened when I, the chief mourner, needed to leave. I explained that I had to go do housework at your house as you ordered. You told others? How dare you? You had no right. Who else knows? Tell me exactly who you told. Just the funeral guests. What? The funeral guests? Was it supposed to be a secret? Of course it was. We talked about that. But you're always saying how proper and traditional these duties are. Don't play innocent. You planned this. Stop acting innocent. You're doing this on purpose. They said there was no need to do that today, but when I explained that you'd make Tom divorce me if I didn't go, not only Tom and your husband, but even the relatives came along. When everyone works together, housework gets done quickly, right? Send them away immediately. I mean it, Sarah. This isn't a joke. Get them out now. But they're already cleaning. I don't care what they're doing. Stop them immediately. This is just absurd. Normally you'd refuse and come alone. Where's your common sense? But I thought you'd be happy to have some help. You know that's not what I meant. Don't play dumb with me. More help means better cleaning. You're mocking me and you're enjoying this. You're right. I guess I still don't understand the common sense you talk about. But if your husband says he's coming, how could I refuse? Oh, I'll start cleaning now. Don't mind me. I'll serve tea to everyone. But my appointment. I need to leave. I have somewhere to be. This can't be happening. You've ruined everything. Oh, should I go ahead and tell everyone about your important appointment? Don't you dare. Keep your mouth shut. You've done enough damage. Stop it. Make everyone leave right now. What? But the head of the household, your husband, said everyone should help. And as you said, a servant like me has no right to refuse, right? This isn't what I meant. You're twisting my words. You know exactly what you're doing. I'm just following your rules exactly. These aren't the rules. You're supposed to be more flexible about these things. This is why uneducated fools are useless. Wait, someone's knocking on the bathroom door. Just make them leave. It's all right. It's your husband. He's worried because you've locked yourself in the bathroom as soon as we arrived. Are you feeling better now? The situation is definitely not better. This is a nightmare. Everything is ruined because of you. Well, I'll start working, so please have some tea with your husband. I've put out some sweets I had prepared for my mother's funeral on the table. Please help yourself. Don't mention the funeral. Stop bringing that up. Why are you so concerned about that? You said it wasn't important. That's not what I... Wait, stop! Get everyone out! But there's still so much cleaning to do. I don't care about the cleaning. Forget about that. Hey, answer me. Don't ignore me. Your husband is still waiting to talk to you. Stop this right now. Sarah!
Victoria, aren't you going to talk this out?
Dear, I'm not feeling well right now. Could you please leave me alone? I need some privacy.
You've been in there for 30 minutes. Everyone's waiting out here.
I'm really not well.
You seemed fine when ordering Sarah to leave her mother's funeral.
That's not what happened. You don't understand. She's twisting things. There's more to this story. You're only hearing her side.
I saw the messages myself, every single one. They were quite clear.
Those messages lack context. You don't understand the situation. This is between women.
And for someone feeling unwell, you're quite dressed up. That's an expensive dress.
I was planning to go to the doctor. I can't go out looking shabby, you know. I really am feeling sick. Image matters.
Oh, does one wear an evening dress to visit the doctor? You look more like you're headed to a date.
That's your imagination. I missed Sarah's mother's funeral because of a cold, and hey, why has everything turned out like this? Isn't everyone overreacting?
Cold? Just now you were going to the doctor!
The cold got worse. I was going to get medicine.
Which is it, doctor or medicine? You can't keep your story straight!
Why are you questioning me like this? Your own wife? After all these years?
And you're saying we're overreacting? No, we're doing what needs to be done! Ordering a daughter to leave her mother's funeral, and the reason being housework? You've gone too far!
You don't understand women's matters. This is between Sarah and me.
Is emotional abuse a women's matter? Is this what you call tradition?
Abuse? That's absurd. No, you've got it all wrong. I was just going to ask her to pick up a few things on her way back. I never told her to leave the funeral. You're misinterpreting everything.
That's quite different from what was written in the text messages.
Text messages? Those messages could be edited. Anyone could fake those.
I watched her receive them in real time while standing at her mother's funeral.
She's turning everyone against me. Can't you see what she's doing?
Even though they were just finishing up with the ceremonial proceedings and only the meal was left, it's strange to ask someone to leave their own mother's funeral early. I thought there must be something serious being hidden behind such poor lies. Then Sarah showed me your message exchange as proof that she was telling the truth.
You can't be serious. You're choosing her side over your own wife?
Sarah's mother was a remarkable woman. Despite having a chronic illness, she raised Sarah as a single mother and kept in close contact even after Sarah's marriage. She was a truly loving person.
Anyone can raise a child. She just did what any mother should. Unlike her, I raised our son properly.
By hiring nannies?
That's different. We could afford proper help. I was maintaining our social standing.
Sarah wanted to repay that love, so she started working right after high school and now works as a freelance designer from home. Though it was just the two of them, they supported each other. A perfect example of family. I worked hard when my company was struggling to support our lifestyle. Because of that, I left all family matters to you and wasn't a good father. I feel I've wronged Tom.
You provided everything we needed. But you built up the company and protected our family name. Both you and Tom got into prestigious companies. That makes you far more respectable people by society's standards.
Is that all you care about? Standards?
Our reputation matters. Everything I did was for the family.
No, I was a fool to give you free rein, making our daughter-in-law do all the housework because of tradition? That's common sense. I've never heard of such traditions from my mother or grandmother.
Well, times have changed. We need to maintain higher standards now.
Standards of cruelty?
You're being dramatic. I was just teaching her. She needs guidance.
Besides, Sarah has her own job and new household. Normally, shouldn't we let her focus on that? I hear Tom has been asking you to stop bothering her for a while now.
Tom doesn't understand. He's too soft with her. But men don't understand women's work, and Sarah needs to learn how we do things here. It's definitely better for Tom to live in an environment like his childhood home.
You mean the home where we had 3 different housekeepers?
That's not relevant. The housekeepers were different. I supervised them.
Pulling weeds with bare hands is our family's way? This is ridiculous! I was wrong to choose a woman like you in that arranged marriage. I've been blind for years.
Don't say that. After all these years, I was just trying to be a little mean. I was teaching her discipline.
Well, this time your little meanness is unforgivable. Stay in the bathroom until we're done.
Done with what? What are you planning? Richard?
We're cleaning house. We need to throw out all the unnecessary things. Your belongings will be put in the garden. Leave by tonight.
What? You can't be serious. This is my home. You're throwing me out?
Yes, we're getting divorced. It's over.
Divorced? Over this? What? You're divorcing me just because I was a bit harsh with the daughter-in-law? I've been your housewife for 30 years, supporting you. Don't you feel any gratitude for that?
Supporting me by spending my money?
I maintained your image. I maintained your social standing.
I'm grateful for you being my wife, but your treatment of our son's wife is a different matter. Besides, you were terrible at housework, weren't you? What nonsense about our family's way of doing things.
But I did everything properly. The house was always perfect. The housekeepers were just helpers.
No, everything was so poorly done that we had to hire a housekeeper. Remember how I convinced you by saying the house was too big to clean, so it must be difficult to cook every day? You just couldn't manage everything alone.
No. I thought you were just being considerate. Oh, fine. If you insist, I'll agree to the divorce, but I'll be taking my share of the assets. I have the right to half your wealth.
Ah, so that's your real aim. Well, unfortunately for you, your true colors show. Finally, the truth.
What do you mean?
You signed a prenuptial agreement before our marriage. Under certain conditions, there would be no division of assets. Our family has had wealth for generations. Many women have tried to marry in for the money.
Yes, I remember signing something, but that was ages ago.
I have the contract. There will be no division of assets with you.
What? Why not? This can't be happening. It's not fair. You can't do this to me.
Because you betrayed me, of course. If Sarah hadn't told me, I would never have known.
I betrayed you? What did Sarah say? What did that woman tell you? What lies has she been telling?
She opened my eyes, finally showed me the truth.
You can't believe her.
We'll handle your belongings. Just leave by tonight. Don't make this harder for us. Just go!
No, wait! You owe me an explanation. You can't do this. Richard! Sarah, let me in the house quickly. Stop ignoring me. I know you're there. Open the door. Why are you here? You have to help me fix this. You did this to me. Everything is ruined because of you. What are you doing here suddenly? Obviously, I won't let you in. Our apartment isn't big enough for someone like you to live in. If you have nowhere to go, stay at a hotel. Don't act superior now. You planned this. Remember who you are. How dare you? This is all your fault. My fault? Yes, your fault. You planned this from the beginning. Planned what exactly? Don't play innocent. You set me up. Because you didn't properly listen to me, you can't do housework properly. You used your position to harass me. You really don't understand people's feelings. You're the worst kind of person. As an apology, let me stay and pay for my living expenses. So now you want my help? It's the least you can do after what you've done. You've destroyed my life. Can't do housework, harasses others, doesn't understand people's feelings. Are you just introducing yourself? What? How dare you? Or should I be more specific? You ungrateful. How dare you speak to me this way? After all, you're the one who couldn't do housework, so you needed a housekeeper. You used your position as Tom's mother to take advantage of me. You didn't even consider my feelings when I lost my mother. No wonder you could have an affair while your husband was working. What? You're the one who told them about the affair? You had me followed? You had no right. No right? Like you had no right to order me around? That was different. I was teaching you. You know nothing. Well, I had been wondering. You always dressed up so nicely to go out while I was doing housework at your house. It was suspicious, so I hired a private investigator. We collected quite a few photos and voice recordings. You spied on me? You invaded my privacy. That's illegal. I'll sue you. So is embezzlement. But I told you I was going out for household errands. At fancy hotels? You're making things up. You can't prove anything. The receipts say otherwise. Did you really think I'd believe that? This is the worst. I thought my husband was too busy with work to notice, but to be exposed by my son's wife of all people, I thought you were just a stupid woman. You tricked me. I played the role of a foolish woman thinking you'd let your guard down. I thought it might come in handy someday, though I never expected to use it on a day like this. It's terrible. As expected, you were planning to dump housework on me and go out today too, weren't you? You were pretending all along? You deceived me? You're worse than I thought. Like you were pretending to be a faithful wife? My private life is none of your business. He said he really needed to see me today. He understands me. You don't know anything about us. He loves me. Ah, yes. Your partner looked younger than Tom, didn't he? Whether he's a host or whatever, having an affair with someone younger than your son is truly disgusting. You don't understand love. Age doesn't matter. You're just jealous. What's wrong with that? Age doesn't matter in love. We have more than enough money anyway, so why shouldn't I, as the wife, use it? He said he needed me, so I was supporting him. My son is married with his own family now. What's wrong with enjoying my second life? While making my life miserable? You were just convenient. A perfect cover. I needed someone to handle things. That concerns me. It means you think it's okay to disregard my mother's death. Is this what an elite lady does? Amazing. Nothing was more important than my happiness. You're rotten to the core. Ha! How could a young woman who hasn't even experienced raising children understand my feelings? You mean the children the nannies raised? I supervised them. I was busy maintaining our social status. Busy with your affairs? You know nothing about sacrifice. I gave up my youth. I don't want to understand. While your husband was struggling to rebuild the company, you were having affairs, spending loads of money on a man younger than your son. I'll never understand someone who betrays their family like that. I feel sorry for Tom. It's a miracle he turned out so straightforward, but I definitely don't want him to see you, and I don't want to deal with you again. Please leave. If you don't, I'll call the police. The police? Isn't that a bit extreme? You wouldn't dare. After everything I've done for this family. I'll take any legal action. Fine, I get it. I won't ask you to stop this, but at least help me financially. If I'm abandoned by my family and have no money, he'll abandon me too. So you admit he's only after money. That's not what I meant. He genuinely cares. He needs my help. You just don't understand our love. Isn't this a good opportunity? They say when the money runs out, so does the relationship. Oh, I know. Why don't you get a job? Even a high school graduate commoner like me can handle housework. Surely an elite university graduate, self-proclaimed sophisticated lady like yourself could at least become a servant, right? Me? Work as a servant? How dare you suggest that? I'm above such things. Too good for honest work? You'll regret this. You haven't heard the last of this. I'll make you pay. Goodbye, Victoria. Don't contact us again. Wait! You can't do this! Sarah!
Sarah, how are you doing?
Richard, it's been a while. I'm happy to be able to talk to you again. I'm taking it easy now because of some morning sickness. Thomas switched to working from home and helps with various things. I'm really grateful that he's helping despite his busy job.
Is Tom managing okay with everything?
He's been wonderful. Very supportive. He makes sure I rest properly. I couldn't ask for more.
That's good to hear. If there's anything I can help with, just let me know. We caused you so much trouble with my wife's situation. It turns out she had been having affairs all along whenever Tom and I were away from home. She even embezzled quite a bit of money. It's absolutely appalling. I don't even know how to apologize to you. We should have noticed this much earlier.
Please don't blame yourself. You didn't know. She fooled everyone.
The investigator found more than we expected.
How bad was it?
Years of affairs.
Tom is still processing everything.
I should have noticed sooner.
I understand that we all wanted to believe in her, but no one saw the truth.
Still, to think she was using company funds!
Has the company recovered from that?
Mostly. The amount wasn't fatal. We'll be able to survive.
That's a relief. Richard, I don't have any parents now. My mother is gone too. That means you'll be this baby's only grandfather. You've always worked so hard for your family. So now, would you support us for the sake of this baby that's coming? Be part of our future? Be the grandfather this child needs?
Sarah, yes, of course! Nothing would make me happier. I'll do everything I can to support my grandchild's happiness.
That means more than you know.
I promise to be more present this time, more involved. I won't make the same mistakes. Never again.
In the end, Victoria was ordered to pay $50,000 in compensation. She thought it would be offset by the division of assets, but apparently she signed a prenuptial agreement stating there would be no division of assets if the divorce was due to infidelity. As a result, she was required to pay the compensation in full, but with no one to help her, she ended up in debt. And her affair partner abandoned her as soon as he found out she had no money, so she really ended up alone. Whatever happens to her now is none of my business. As for me, I safely gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Father was overjoyed at his granddaughter's birth. He burst into tears the moment he saw her face. I hope we can continue building this wonderful family.